Hey guys, welcome back to BrandiShariTV. My name is Brandy, and today I'm going to be doing a traveling video for you guys. So I have been traveling since October of last year, and it's now June. So I do have a couple of assignments and contracts under my belt. Girl, I have a couple of things that I went through which made me grow as a traveler, even more as a respiratory therapist. But I really wanted to focus today's video on things that I want you guys to think about prior to traveling, because you can't be disappointed if you don't expect certain things, right? And I don't want to like set you guys up to say like, oh, you know, things may not happen your way, but things just may not happen your way. And I want you guys to be in the right mindset and to just expect the worst, but hope for the best when it comes to traveling. It can be a lovely thing, but it can also be really trying and just make you feel anxious in certain situations. Go ahead and grab your wine, grab your water, grab your snack, because y'all already know this is gonna be a long video. These talking points are not gonna be in any particular order. I just kind of wanna talk and go with the flow per usual and let y'all know what's up when it comes to traveling. So if you guys are interested in that, just keep watching. So the first talking point I want to talk to you guys about is being realistic. And this is realistic about what you accept and also realistic about what you expect when it comes to traveling. And we're more so going to just talk about the money part because I have a couple other talking points that are just going to other things. So let's talk about being realistic about what you accept first. So you guys know when you're traveling, you're essentially doubling your expenses. So you have to pay for housing, meal, maybe a car in one place that you're traveling, and you also have to pay for that at home. So when you get the breakdown of these numbers, and when I say breakdown, because I may say it again in this video, breakdown of the numbers means your tax pay and your non-tax stipends, which includes your meal and your lodging stipends, right? When you get the breakdown of that and you realize, you know, about how much you're going to be taking home, if the math ain't math, then baby, just don't accept it. Just don't accept it. There's not a gun to your head. Your arm is not twisted behind your back. You do not have to accept it if the math ain't math. And if you're not making the amount of money that you're expecting to be making, or if you're not making a profit at all and you're like broke every week, you realize that like you gotta like move things around and you're broke, just stay home. You might as well stay home. You know what I mean? Just don't do it. So that's really it for what you accept. Don't accept anything lower than you can afford, because I can promise you, you go to this hospital and you get worked like a dog for 3 months and you broke. Oh girl, that's gonna be a long 3 months. I don't even want you to go through that. I really don't. So just don't do it. Don't do it. Get the breakdown of the numbers from the recruiter, do the math, look at the housing. You can go on Furnish Findings. I did the Airbnb route, and I've also seen people do the hotel route. Figure out your housing. I don't know. Figure out your housing, all of that. If it's not working out, just don't do it. It's not worth it. You are going to be angry, girl. You are going to hate it, okay? And I don't want you to hate it. So now let's go on to what you guys expect from traveling, because, and I'm going to spend some time on this because that seems to be like the most problematic area, is that we're expecting certain things and it's just not going our way. So y'all know in the height of the pandemic, we were getting crucial staffing, which if y'all don't know about crucial staffing or angel staffing, they're like the emergent staffing companies. They work with FEMA, they work with the state, and they basically pull all healthcare professionals, I mean nurses, RT, environmental services, everybody that works in the hospital, they're pulling them, and they were paying bank, like 5-6 bands a week. But these people are also working 5 and 6 days a week, okay? They were working to the bone. Some days were slow, I'm sure. Some days were crazy. But that's how their assignment was for the duration of their contract. So when you guys are looking at those crucial or angel staffing rates, and then you go to just a regular healthcare staffing like AYA or AMN or club staffing or Jackson Therapy, just to name a couple, when you guys are going there and comparing the rates, you really can't compare the two, because Crucial and Angel, they're with FEMA, they're with when a state is in, you know, I think it's like a state of emergency, or just they're in a crisis and they're getting federal funds and they're funneling it through Crucial and Angel Staffing, and they're giving them the money, and they're like, here's the money, pull RTs, do whatever you need to do, but pull it, we're in an emergency. Versus the regular club staffing or not angel staffing, or just the regular staffing, they're not getting that, so they can't pay you that amount. It's crisis pay versus non-crisis pay. Now, like I said before, don't accept it if you feel like it's too low, but also just don't expect these non-crisis assignments or non-crisis staffing or agencies, to pay you crisis money. It's just not gonna happen. I'm so sorry. I missed out on the money train too. I feel like the ship has sailed. Maybe, I'm not hoping that we go through another wave of COVID to get that money, but maybe one day we'll have our time again to get 5 and 6 bands a week. And if you're still getting that money, girl, drop the link, because how y'all getting that much money? But yeah, don't expect crisis money from a non-crisis assignment. Still plenty of assignments out here, but they're just not gonna be what you think anymore. Still good money. Like I said, they're still good money. They're just not 5 and 6 bands. And like I said, if that's what y'all getting paid, please drop the link. How, who, where? So still up under the being realistic umbrella, I want you guys to set a rate and don't go below it. For me personally, I set a rate that was a couple hundred up from my base pay back when I was working full-time, because I'm like, if I'm about to travel and I gotta double expenses, I'm gonna need more money, period. Gonna need more money. And I'm also on a road to just being debt free, so I'm gonna need more money. I'm gonna need more money, period. So I set a rate. I set it where it was realistic to ask for, because this is, around the same amount that you usually would pay a traveler, just a little bit more, just a touch more, because I know I'm worth that. I know I can give you exactly what you need, and I'm gonna take it with no complaints at all. So set a rate, don't go below. Tell your recruiter, hey, please don't send me any assignments less than this rate, and that just kind of eliminates a couple right there. That way, when you get sent something from your recruiter, the rate is gonna be good. It just saves you the headache, because you're going to be getting paid what you want to get paid. And now it just comes down to you. Do you want to take it? Is this the right area you want to be in? Things like that. Set a rate, don't go below it. So the second thing I want you guys to think about before traveling is why you want to travel. Why do you want to travel? Are you in it for the scenery? Do you just like meeting new people, being in different environments, seeing new things? Or do you just want to travel for the monetary gain, like me? I'm a little bit of both, actually. I'm a little bit of both. If you wanted to travel for the monetary gain, then what would sway your answer into going to one state or one city versus the other. If you are in it for the scenery and you like the whole outdoorsy thing, maybe you would choose someplace like maybe closer in the mountains, maybe in a valley somewhere where there's just tons of things for you to do, and it's really just filling that void. Because definitely when you're out here and you're traveling, I miss my family and friends all the time, but it helps that I'm in a place where it's beautiful. I'm in Washington, by the way. I'm in Washington, very beautiful. Lots of things to do, lots of hike, easy, hard, moderate. There's lots of things to do. And when you figure out why you want to travel, whether it be for scenery or for monetary gains, it really just makes your assignment a little bit more enjoyable. Like, you can go to an assignment if you're going for the monetary gain and be like, you know what, I'm just here for the money. Like, I'm just here for the money. I'm here for the check. Like, and you understand that. You understand that's what you're there for. And it's like, it is what it is. Maybe this place is a old city town and they don't really got much going on, but hey, I'm getting paid handsomely, so I don't even care. Or if you're going for the scenery route, you can be like, you know what, I'm going to be doing this weekend, I'm doing that, I want to get out. Maybe they don't pay as much as I would want, but these experiences that I'm going through, this hike, it makes up for that. So figure out why you want to travel. It will make your assignment a lot easier, I promise. So when you're thinking about why you want to travel, you need to also think about where you want to travel. So you want to just keep in mind, wherever you're traveling, you're going to need a license from there. So you need to figure out what their licenses situation is going to be. Does it usually take a couple months for you to get it? And if you need it before you start, you need to make sure that kind of plays out well, because you don't want to be somewhere and they're waiting for your license to come, and it's like, well, you don't have it. Well, now we can't start you, and you've moved some other state. You can't get started because you're waiting on your license. Just make sure you have the license down packed, the whole license situation down packed. If you know that it takes a couple months to get the licenses, go ahead and get the ball rolling prior to like reaching out to recruiters, because the first things they're going to ask is, okay, what licenses do you have, where you want to go, things like that. And you want to just already have started versus reaching out and you're like, oh, well, I just have my resume. Like, you know, you want to already have something to get the ball rolling. So definitely when you're thinking about where you want to go, look into how long the licenses take place. And also, do you have to take a test before you go? Because in Florida, if you haven't been a therapist for 2 years, they make you take another test. Girl, I'm not taking no test, okay? I'll just wait until I hit my 2-year mark and then apply for it. But things like that, you just want to make sure you take into consideration. So when it comes to where you're going, you also want to think about housing. So this ties back into my first point when it comes to what you accept. So of course, like I said, the math ain't math and you can't go. I wouldn't go if I know that I'm going to be like broke. Every week I can be broke at the house with my family and friends. That'll make me feel a little bit better about being broke. But you want to just think about the housing. So say if you really want to go to Cali, but the math ain't mathing. The contract not really trying to pay that much. You've gone through a couple of recruiters, a couple of different agencies, and they basically kind of give you around the same amount of numbers. You may want to say, okay, well, maybe not Cali, but maybe I'll go to Oregon, or maybe I'll go to Nevada. I'll go somewhere kind of close on the West Coast. That way, if I really wanted to go visit Cali, I can hop on a plane. It'll be a cheap and short plane ride, or I can always just do a road trip and just hang out in Cali. Same with like someplace like New York. Go to one of the neighboring states and, you know, get your New York experience, get your New York fix in without paying a New York cost. So that's one thing that I want to just a little trick. If the math ain't mathing, go somewhere else, fly down, have a weekend there, have a 4-day trip there, whatever. Get it in, and you know, that way it's not cutting into your money and you still technically are where you want to be, but you're, you know, it just makes more sense for you. So next, you want to get a good recruiter. You have to think about, okay, when I'm going into another state, basically my only lifeline, if you will, is going to be this recruiter. They're the ones that are going to be telling you, okay, this is when you start. Here's someone to get in good contact with. And so you want to make sure you're getting a good recruiter. For me, I want good vibes. I want fast responses. I want, you know, all the professionalism to be there. Because when I'm going, I came from Georgia to Washington. That was a big jump. I mean, from southeast to northwest. So she was the only one that I was really talking to along this journey, because it was like, okay, who do you get in touch with? What's your first day of work gonna be like? Where do you park? How do you get your parking together? Really good recruiter. And it made my transition from full-time to traveling a lot easier because I had a good recruiter. So when you're talking to these recruiters before you start traveling and you're like, hey, I'm looking to go there, really just fill them out. Like, get the vibe check going. If the vibes are not right, then you don't want to be stuck with this person for 3 months, because it's going to become a headache when you have to constantly call them or constantly reach out to them and they're not reaching back out to you. It's just a headache, and you don't want to have to go through that. I had a really sucky recruiter in my first assignment. Just horrible communication. She'd take days to get back to me, and this is like regarding my money, which is things I like don't play about. Like, I do not play when it comes to my check. I don't play. So horrible. I mean, and I kind of knew it from the jump, but I was like, you know, she probably has so many people that she needs to talk to. She can't get back to me. Girl, she took 3 days to respond when it came to like me and my check. And I'm like, I called you, I left a voicemail, I text you, I emailed you, because it's that important, okay? After 3 days, I'm like, and it's not a weekend, you need to be responding back. So definitely get the vibe check with your recruiter. Make sure you're getting a good recruiter before you, accept them and y'all make like a little whatever formality that this is your recruiter, this is the agency you're going with, and now you're going to some state, some city far away. Make sure that you have a good recruiter because it makes things a lot easier. Also, when you have a good recruiter and y'all establish a really good rapport, they're the ones, when they're talking to the company, or I'm sorry, the hospital, they're the ones that are actually going to bat for you, saying, hey, my RT would like $200 more. Look at her resume, look at this, look at that. I think you guys can wiggle out $2 more. You know, I don't know how they do it. I'm not a recruiter. But those are the people, they're the ones that are talking. Get a good recruiter before you start traveling. Get that good rapport going. If you don't like them, baby, I promise y'all, it's like 10 recruiters that will replace this sucky one that you feel like you have. Don't feel like you have to go for the recruiter and it's only like one recruiter that responded back. Like, just don't feel like you have to do anything, because you don't. I promise you. It gets better. Venture out, search out for more people. You'll find someone that matches. The last point I want to talk to you guys about is being open-minded to shitty assignments. Okay. I'm gonna have to talk to y'all about this one because there's definitely a line that you have to draw where it's like, you know what? Patient care is being compromised, number one. Two, I haven't sat down to do anything. It's like nonstop for me, which I've had some days like that. Nonstop all night for me. No one is called to check on me. I can't seem to get any relief. I'm feeling, you know, I'm not feeling my best right now. You know, this isn't safe. You have to have that line that you just have to draw, imaginary boundary that you have to have for yourself. But also, I want you guys to understand that these places, these hospitals have travelers for a reason. So they have travelers because they are short. Because even when they get travelers, they're still short. You have staff that calls out. You have people who just kind of schedule it short anyway, regardless of how much the staff, the full-time staff will say, like, we need more people, we need more people, we need more people. You have people that just schedule them short. And then when you add a traveler in, it's like it doesn't really make a difference. We're all getting dumped on tonight. You have to just be aware that that's kind of the situation that you may be going into. Now, I'm not going to say you signed up for a shitty assignment, but I will say people get travelers because they need people, because people aren't coming in to work full-time staff. Take that as you will. Maybe the hospital is not that good, or maybe, you know, the pay rate isn't that well, whatever. But they're getting travelers for a reason. It's because they're short. They need people. So when you come in and you get dumped on, you just kind of be like, you know what? I'm traveling for the money anyway. I'm getting paid handsomely. I'm going to chalk it up as an L, take it to the chin. It is what it is. Now, if you have too many nights that you just getting dumped on and nobody else is, like nobody else has a heavy assignment like yours, then, you know, you ring the alarm. But it's not going to be a far-fetched idea for me to think that when I go into an assignment or when I get a contract that I'm going to get a heavy load. It just is what it is. I'm here to help. I know why I'm here. I know I'm getting paid a good amount of money if y'all run me like a dog. So I have no problems. You get what I'm saying? My mental is there, so whatever work you put in front of me, it just is what it is. You know, I'm going in, I'm expecting the worst, but I'm hoping for the best. So that's it for this video, you guys. I hope this gave you some things to think about and put you in the right headspace for when it comes to traveling, and just, of course, things to think about before you travel. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure after you watch this video, if you're trying to travel, go watch other videos. This can't be the end all be all. Watch other videos, do as much research as you need to. At the end of the day, experience is the best teacher. So you can do all of these things. You can be realistic. You can be open-minded to shitty assignments. You can think about why you're traveling. You can pick the perfect place to travel. And you may still get the short end of the stick. Y'all are thinking about doing it. Y'all done all the research. Just do it. I recommend it to everybody. Just do it. Get your feet wet. Try maybe a local travel assignment first, and then venture out somewhere else. Just do it, y'all. It's not that scary, but I hope I gave you guys a couple of things to think about, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next one.